at your finest, champions. Hello there. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Happy February Heart Month. Happy everything. Welcome to Living at Your Finest with Dr. Babs. I hope your year has been going well so far. We're already in the second month. I mean, it seems like it's moving so fast. Our topic today, as you can see, it's about how to eat the rainbow foods, right? Did you know that over 1,000 powerful compounds are found in the plants, and they're known as phytochemicals? Not only do they support us in terms of our health and prevention of disease, it gets us into that place where we have optimal health. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to discover the best ways to take advantage of all these disease fighting powers that we have in these plants. But let me introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. I am Dr. Babs. I am a family physician. I am a health and fitness coach, and I'm the founder of Living at Your Finest company. Now, this company is where I use my passion. I use it to help women to live at their finest holistic health. I use a framework that is fun, fundamental, and faith-based so that women are empowered to possess their worth, to nourish their spirits and their body, and to become health champions. I share lessons from my personal struggles, health journey, and I use a lot of my extensive professional training only for educational purposes. So please do not substitute this as your physician, patient physician relationship. I'm not privy to your specific needs. It's all for educational purposes. So thank you for watching, whether it's live, whether it's replay. I am really grateful to you. I want to request that you take a step further and you share with people that you think that this information might benefit. And I want to hear from you. I want to know how this has impacted you, if you've learned anything at all, and what you would do, because we're healthier together when we share with one another. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what we need to know. So let's start off with the overview. So overview is, what are the rainbow foods, the importance, and how to eat these foods, right? So that's what we're going to be looking into today. So the important thing is that the absence of these photochemicals, they just lead to several diseases like hypertension, diabetes, obesity, dementia, depression, and so much more, arthritis. So what better way to prevent ourselves from all this massive healthcare costs if we can avoid these things? And the way we can avoid it is by eating all these nutritious foods. All right. So today I can only scratch the surface, but I'll try my best to highlight the main important plants and where you can find them and exactly how we can adapt them into our daily eating plan. All right. So the first one I want to start off with is the yellow green plants. So what you find in this is what we call the carotenoids. So the carotenoids, they help to protect the eyes and help to protect the heart against atherosclerosis. And what that means is just hardening of the arteries in the heart. So when they're hardened and then they have plaque formation, then unfortunately a heart attack can take place because there's occlusion of blood to the heart. So that is what the yellow green plants do. And we see this in bell peppers, we see this in peas, so there's several examples where these yellow plants fall under, whether it's fruits and veggies. Also corn is yellow, squash is yellow. All right, so that's that. Now let's move to the next one. The next one is blue. I love this category because I have my blueberries here. I love blueberries. The moment I heard that blueberries make me shopper, I eat it all the time, and they have a nice taste to it in terms of cutting back on sugary craving. So I really do enjoy this category. So what do they have? They have what we call the anthocyanins. I know all these names are a little bit interesting, right? But I love it because it helps to prevent blood clots. It delays cellular aging. Now, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want a delay in cellular aging? And definitely blood clot, especially now with COVID. You hear a lot about how COVID causes a lot of blood clot. Patients just um, pass from just having a blood clot goes to the from the leg goes to the lungs and occludes the lungs, and unfortunately just respiratory distress. So we want to make sure that we're eating our beets, blueberries, red cabbage falls under this, the purple cabbage, purple potatoes. Those are the ones that fall under this category. Now the next one, green. Green. So this is where we have our detoxifying properties. We have a lot of anti-carcinogenics, and that just means against cancer, against toxin buildup. These are green, so it has what we call the sulforaphanes. So sulforaphanes found in broccoli. I've recently developed a taste for broccoli as well as Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts and asparagus. I love these. Kale, cauliflower. They also fall under, this big category that is called the cruciferous veggies. So very, very good for us. It gives us a lot of antioxidant properties, prevents cancer. So at least you can find one or two categories out of all these groups that you will adapt and like and add to your meals. Let's take a look. We have two more to go. Pale green white, so pretty much like white, and this is the allicins. Allicins, powerful again in anti-cancer prevention, anti-tumor prevention, immune boosting, and antimicrobial properties. That was a tongue twister there. So yes, so things that fall under this category: garlic, ginger, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I now love mushrooms. I've heard somewhere that you have to taste something at least 7 times for you to say you don't like it. So that's what I tell my kids. I'm like, you haven't tried it 7 times. We're creatures of habit. We have to adapt our palates to get accustomed to taste and flavor, and especially if we know why we're eating them and what it does for our body. I think it's a motivator enough to get us to where we need to be. So the last two that I'm going to talk about is red, the red plants and veggies. And this has what we call the lycopenes. So the lycopenes, protective against the heart. Anytime you see red, just know it's protecting against your heart. So this is where we have our tomatoes, our bell peppers. It also helps for cancer, anti-cancer activities. It avoids, it keeps us from having all those free radicals that are in our bloodstreams that want to multiply and do a lot of damage. So I particularly like tomatoes. I think they're juicy. With all these benefits, I plan to continue to eat my tomatoes. I season them really well with cayenne pepper, turmeric, and black pepper, and they taste delicious. All right, the last one. Last one is orange. Now, the orange plants and veggies, this is where we have the alpha and the beta carotenes. Alpha and beta carotenes, if we talk about the alpha protects us from cancer, helps with the skin, helps with eye health. Now, the beta, on the other hand, what it does is that it's a powerful antioxidant. When you hear the word antioxidant, it just means it prevents oxidation in your blood. So you don't having like changes occurring from its normal state to create more cells that are damaging. So that's what that is all about. So these, of course, as you can tell, will be carrots, pumpkins, squash, sweet potato. I mean, I'm already hungry calling all these foods. So these are all these great things that we have. Now, let me share a picture with you. I think you would find it very, very helpful to see what some of these, how to this is what we're going to talk about next. Best practices to eat the food rainbows. All right, so the rainbow foods, whichever way you want to call it. So we can soup, right? I've been doing a lot of lentil soup because lentils actually keeps us full longer. And I find that I'm not snacking and eating all over the place because I'm eating high carbohydrate foods and I'm still hungry because carbohydrate foods, sugary foods, they just give you a high and then it drops you down and you're hungry again. So lentils, I put a lot of carrots, I put a lot of greens in there. And so, soup is a good way. Salads, you figure out what nice combination of carrots will get you to that place where you enjoy eating salads. I found that if I put blueberries in my salad now, I enjoy it. If I cut some apples in there that is red, I enjoy it. So salads is another way. Snacks, my son thinks that there's no way fruits and veggies can be snacks. Yes, it's your mindset. Twist your brain, tell yourself it's a more nutritious snack to have than a bag of chips because that has no nutritional value. All it does, your body cannot digest it, and it's going to just sit as waste and fat. So we will have to change our mindsets. Now I'm glad that he's getting onto it. It took me a minute to get onto it, but now I'm enjoying my apples as snacks. I'm enjoying my cucumbers as snacks. They are the foods from the soil that the Lord has asked us to eat. That's how we were created. We were created to eat those nutritious foods. Another way, smoothie. Yay, I love smoothie. Smoothie, the thing about smoothie that you have to be careful. Don't let your smoothie just be fruits, all fruits. No, because that's a lot of sugar. Even though it's natural sugar, it's still sugar, better than the cookie sugar and all of that. But you have to be careful because you don't want a big spike in your insulin, which is going to try and get rid of that sugar. You want to make sure that you have veggies in your smoothie. So the way I do it is that I have for every one veggie, I have two fruits. So for instance, I would have kale and I can have blueberry and a banana. Or I could have celery and I can have a mango and put, a banana. So you just want to make sure that if you have two veggies, then you can have at least four fruits. All right, so a good blend. You can also add a protein to give you some protein there. There's so much you can do with smoothies, and there are tons of resources, on YouTube, on different combinations that you can do. And side meal. Side meal is another way that you can sneak in your veggies. You know, my home, we recently made, it was called, I think it was called carrot and squash muffins. It was delicious. We added an apple there and it was just delicious. And there's so many I've heard of pumpkin muffins that are done in a healthy way. So there's several ways that we can sneak in our fruits and veggies. You know that the number of servings that you need to have is about 7 a day. But even if you're someone that just doesn't I've heard people say they don't like veggies, they don't like fruits, and all they eat is just carbohydrate. That is not the way to live. You want to make sure that you train yourself on these benefits of all these phytochemicals that will help us fight against chronic diseases. So find ways that you can use these different fruits and veggies to boost your health. So as we wrap up today, I definitely want to just find out, how are you going to use these foods? What are you going to do? We know that food can either be our medicine or poison, and I know that with COVID being around and we're all fighting against it, we need to ensure that we eat right. We don't rely on the traditional medicine, all the pills, because all those pills, they have side effects. They interact with each other. By the time you're like on 3 or 4 or 5, like today, I was writing a prescription for a patient that wanted something to help her sleep. And all the medication she was on, it was already interacting. It said, one in, you can't. So they're natural things. Did you know that banana skin, if you just boil the banana skin and you drink that water, as gushy as it sounds, it actually helps to promote the melatonin, which is what we naturally produce, and it will help us sleep. So that we have tons of natural ways to heal our body that we don't need to rely on medications. All right, so call to action. What are you going to do? What is your call to action? How many of the rainbow foods are you going to do weekly? What are you doing right now? If it's just one out of all the categories. So let me just share this quick picture with you. Let's share this picture. Right, let's take a look at this. Right, so rainbow of health. We already talked about all of this. There has to be one that you can pick out of this category. So if you don't like carrots, maybe you like orange, from the orange category to prevent cancer. For health, heart health, this is February Heart Health Month. Red, maybe if you don't like tomatoes, maybe you like the bell peppers. There's so much you can do with bell peppers. Same thing for the purple, to live long, longevity, make your brain work better. I eat a lot of blueberries, you know. Beets I'm not too fond of because of the color, but again, I try. Greens, there's several of these categories that we can at least pick something that we can develop our palates to enjoy over over the course of weeks. It's Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're not expecting that it will just come all of a sudden, but just gradually ensuring that you do your best to eat healthy. All right. So I hope that you found this information to be helpful. If we're looking to improve our health and vitality, we need to heal from diseases, we need to improve our mood, and we need to just find a way to elevate our palates. Again, as I said, we're creatures of habits. You got to try it at least 7 times for you to say, this doesn't work for me. If you know the why you're eating it and the benefit of eating it, I think it will definitely encourage us to get rid of all those high calorie foods that have no nutritional value. All right, so we've been informed today. My goal is that we are empowered and we become triumphant health champions. All right, because we certainly deserve it, right? We need to, we deserve it, and there's no reason why we cannot achieve this. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will just pause and see if there are any questions to respond to. If not, I think we'll see you. Don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, all right, and share with friends and neighbors, and let's get healthier together. Thanks again. Take care.